Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today is the beginning of our 2026 Clean With Me series. So I just uploaded my sewing room refresh and reorganization video last week, so if you missed that, go back and check it out. I also thought it would be a great time to share some of my organizational and cleaning and decluttering tips with you guys as well. So for the next 10 days here on YouTube, I'm going to meet you every morning at 10 a.m. and I'm going to have a different tip for you to work on in your sewing space. I also have a free PDF download for you for this series. I will link it below this video, and it's basically just a 10-day checklist of things that you can do to help declutter, clean out, and reorganize your sewing space. Now I know everyone's space is different, so right off the bat I just want to say that it doesn't matter whether you have a sewing room like I do, or maybe a desk in your bedroom, or a place in your dining room or kitchen. Wherever you're sewing, I think these tips are going to help you keep your space organized, neat, and clutter-free. And of course, this is just a guide for you to follow. Do whatever works best for you. If it were me, I will actually do all of this in like 1 to 2 days. Some people need to spread it out. If you're having a space that's really overwhelming, it can help to just do small tasks each day. You can also do it longer than 10 days. So you can just do a little bit of organization and cleaning every day, and I think you'll find out that that makes a big difference. The only suggestion I might make if you're really ready to do a clean out is to not drag it out for too long, because then you can lose motivation and then you just quit and you just never finish. So before we get started, the first assignment for today is to take a before picture of your space, whatever space that is, basement, bedroom, kitchen, sewing room, doesn't matter. Take a before picture, and then at the end of this, we'll take an after picture so that we can see all of our progress. The other thing I think would be really fun is to share all of our progress with each other. So if you haven't already, join my Sew With Me group in Facebook, post your before, during, and after pictures in there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see everyone's spaces during our 2026 Clean With Me series. So a couple of starter tips before we get started. The best thing to do is to create some spaces for some things that we're going to be getting out of our sewing spaces. We're going to organize them and then we'll bring them back in when we're all done. So I like to have a bin for my donations. I have a trash bag usually when I'm doing this so that I can just dump things that are trash in it right away. And then I also have a keep pile. So if you have some of those big Rubbermaid bins, that would be great for this, or maybe a cardboard box for your donation pile. So just create yourself 3 areas where you can place your things that are going to be kept, donated, and then of course a trash bag for anything that needs to get tossed. For the donations, I have a few ideas I wanted to share right off the bat. So things like 4-H groups, your local quilt guild, and your local library are all great areas for donation. And then of course there's also thrift stores, and I've been told there's actually craft thrift stores. I don't believe I have any of those in my area, but you can check and see if you have any in yours. So as far as quilt guilds go, our quilt guild does an annual fabric sale, and then they take the proceeds from that sale, put it back into the guild, and that helps us do things like bring special guest teachers in, have special presentations and things like that. Or you might just have friends in your quilt guild that you know would like some of the items that you're decluttering, and you can just give them to your friends as well. We also had a lady in our local quilt guild who made animal beds for our shelters, and so she would take scraps and batting scraps, fabric scraps of any size, and she just would take huge trash bags of them and use them to fill animal beds. So you never know who in your quilt guild might be happy to have some of your leftover stash. The other thing are 4-H clubs. The members in 4-H clubs have to purchase their own supplies for their projects, and then a lot of times the leaders are looking for donations for supplies so that they can do demonstrations and skill technique things for their members. So 4-H clubs are a great way to donate some of your items that are still usable but that you're not going to use. And then of course there's always the trash pile. I try and keep this to the minimum, but anything that's broken or just actually trash, like wrappers or broke pins that don't work anymore, things like that, that just needs to get out of your room. So have a trash pile, and then be mindful if you can recycle any of your paper products or things that can be recycled. All right, so that handles the donation kind of get rid of things area. Let's talk about organizational tips really quick. I do have several different videos here on YouTube on how to store and how to fold, store, organize all of your fabric. I have a couple videos. One is for yardage and fat quarters. The other one is for scraps. Those are big areas in most people's sewing spaces that need to stay organized. So check out those videos. I'll link them below or maybe somewhere up here. The other thing that I have are several different sewing room tours, so you can see all the things that I have in my sewing room. There's links to everything like my bins, my desks, my drawers, drawers, everything like that will be linked in those videos as well. And like I said, I just uploaded a fresh sewing room tour that has links to everything. And then lastly, let's talk about a couple motivational tips. So one tip I have for you is to just set yourself a timer. A lot of times it's easy for you to say, okay, I can spend 5 or 10 minutes in here doing this one task. I think you'll find that just a few minutes of cleaning each day can really add up, and your sewing space will be refreshed and usable in no time. And then lastly, I encourage you to take a before and after picture for this process. So on day one, we're going to be taking a before picture. That can really help motivate you to keep your space clean and tidy. And the goal of this series is just to make your space beautiful and functional for 2026. Another thing we're going to be doing during this series is we're going to be finding a home for everything, because that is the #1 culprit for your space becoming cluttered. If it's really easy for you to see something, grab it, use it, and put it away, you are way more likely to do that. If it doesn't have a home and you're just not sure where to put it, those are the type of things that are going to be building up on your surface and causing clutter and chaos in your space. So keep that in mind as we're sorting what we're going to keep, what we're going to donate. Ask yourself if it has a home. If not, are you willing to find a home for it? If not, you might not actually need that item, and maybe it can go in the donate pile. So just keep that in the back of your mind throughout this series. And then my last tip for you, and this is probably the biggest one I have just for overall keeping my spaces decluttered, is the motto, don't put it down, put it away. And so that means if you're carrying a cup from your sewing room to the kitchen, don't set it on the counter, set it in the dishwasher. Unless you're going to use it again, that's fine. But you get my drift. Don't put things down, because when you set things down on counters and tabletops thinking, oh, I'll just handle that later, well, they pile up really quickly. And before you know it, you have a ton of stuff that doesn't belong there, taking up your precious sewing space. And if you're like me, you might not have a lot of room in your space to work. And so I need to keep my tabletops and like my ironing board. This is a major clutter attractor back here. I always just set things there. And if I have to clean those off to be able to use them, then I'm much less likely to have the motivation to sew. So I always make sure that instead of putting something down, I put it away. All right, I think that's all the housekeeping tips I have for you. Let's go ahead and dive into day #1. So today's task is going to be really easy. I'm calling it the take out the trash day, and we're going to be getting rid of anything that's made its way into our sewing room that doesn't belong there. My sewing room is right by our front door, and so I get shoes, people bring in the mail, I get scissors, boxes, just everything that people come in the front door, they come in to talk to me, and then they leave it in my sewing space. I also end up with dishes, cups, plates, things like that, because I tend to have drinks in here, and I do usually have some snacks while I'm sewing as well. So anything that has made its way into your space that shouldn't be there, let's take today to just get all of those things out of your space. And then, like I said, don't just pile it in another room like in your kitchen. Put those things away as you get them out of your space. We don't want to be making another area that you have to clean up later. The other thing that is big for me in my sewing space, and I don't know about you, but is product packaging. So I order supplies, I have PR sent to me, and sometimes they come in really cute boxes with really cute ribbons and really cute stuffing, and it's really hard for me to throw those boxes away. In the long run, do I need those? Not usually. So if it's a box that I can use to re-gift, I will take all the contents out of that box, put the box down in my gift wrapping area. If it's the stuffing that I would reuse, same thing, put it in a plastic bag, put it down with my gift wrapping. If it's a ribbon or something like that was tied on there that I would reuse for maybe a bag project, I also have a Ziploc bag full of just random scraps of ribbons and things like that that I have kept, and I keep that in a special area as well. That way, if I'm making a bag or I need a ribbon for a package or something like that, I know exactly where to go and get it, and they're not just hanging around in my sewing room, just taking up space. So product packaging is a huge thing. If it's a regular cardboard box and things like that, break it down, recycle it, get it out of your space. All right, and we are going to be tackling scraps on a different day, but if you have any leftover fabric scraps all over your table, things that are actually that you need to just be getting rid of, let's go ahead and get rid of those today as well. Just try and kind of clean off your surface a little bit, and we will be tackling those, like I said, another day. But if there's something that you can just quickly swipe into the trash, or maybe like into a baggie to bring to your local quilt guild, like I mentioned earlier, let's go ahead and clean up some of that stuff today as well. So today is just sort of an overall cleanup, just get the things that don't belong here out of here. All right, that should be a pretty easy day for you. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're going to enjoy this series. Hopefully at the end of it, you'll have a beautiful functional space for 2026. And then I will meet you here tomorrow for day #2 of our 2026 Clean With Me series.